All right, welcome back to Fixing the Nation. As before, we are still live on Nation FM, on NTV, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, anywhere with a broadcast or internet signal. As you can see, nimetoka nje kidogo, we are at the Kenya Meat Expo 2025 kwa ground up at KICC, and the smokers are open, my guys. The smokers are open. This is a booth courtesy of Rib Racks. It's a barbecue bistro and a butchery. They've got chicken, they've got mbuzi, they've got pork, they've got everything. And I've got Anthony Mwangi with me, who will walk us through. Hapa mnaona tu moshi. I wish you could smell it, guys. Anthony, good morning.
Morning too.
Hiya. Let me start with hii inaitwa nini? Because isi grill ya kawaida. First of all, I've not seen any. I've seen them, but not at this scale. What exactly is this?
This is called the smoker. So this is where we put our pork, and we smoke it for 6 hours. Then it's ready. Then this one is also the smoker. This is where the chicken is. So this is the chicken. We normally deal with barbecued pork and barbecued chicken. We also have choma sausages, long spicy pork sausages, and we also have the sides.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's pork.
Yeah, that's pork.
I'm seeing water underneath. Explain to me this device vile inafanya kazi. Naona maji hapo chini, alafu nyama juu. Please explain. Alafu makaa huko chini. Explain how heat inatoka wapi, na boil nini. What's happening here?
So tunawekanga makaa hapo chini. So hiyo ndio huwa ina boil hiyo maji. So the smoker is, we normally use the smoker because we do what we call slow cooking. So pork inaiva tu hiyo na hiyo steam tu pole pole.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the heat heats the water, then the water cooks the meat.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What kind of seasoning are we looking at for the chicken and the pork?
Yeah, this pork, we normally use the barbecue to marinate the pork. After it's ready now, we grill it. Then we use some spices there, then add the marination, the barbecue pork, the barbecue sauce.
Na kuku hapa. The process for the chicken looks a little bit different because hii sioni steam, sioni maji, naona tu makaa.
Yeah, hii tumeweka tu makaa. So hiyo heat ndo inaivisha hii kuku.
Yes.
Hii heat sasa ukiweka makaa hapa, heat ndo tunafunga because now it's open. So once we close it, that heat is the one that makes sure that the chicken is ready. Yeah.
Something I've always wondered about is how people who cook with smokers, with grills, how they know the meat is ready. Mtu anajua ni you know, because to be honest, unaweza toa imechomeka nje, ndani it's still raw. How do you know your food is ready?
Yeah, it's just a matter of timing. So like ukiekelea hii pork 6, the first time unafaa kuopen hii smoker ni around 9 up. Una confirm experience pia ina matter pia. Yeah.
Okay. And for the chicken?
It's the same process as the pork. That's how we do it.
I'm seeing sides: chips, ugali, kachumbari, creamy veggies.
Yeah.
Wakenya ni kama tunapenda tu 1, 2, 3 things za kukula na nyama. Chips, ugali, kachumbari, creamy veggies. That's standard. When you think of what people order the most, what's your most common combination? And do you think that Kenyans are becoming more American in how we consume meat? Nitakwambia kwa nini? Because when I think Kenyan way to consume meat, ugali, nyama, mboga, labda kachumbari. Ukianza kuweka creamy veggies, mashed potatoes, fries, hapo sasa I feel like we're getting Western.
Yeah, squeezy. Kenyans will improve because now they are getting used to these fries. We have the best fries, by the way, spiced one. And the creamy veggies, we introduced them last year. And zinaenda.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Everything looks really, really good. We want to move to another booth, but just before, when I look at this smoker, is this something that someone can have in their house? Ama nikuje tu ni experience for myself?
It's good to have that experience with the Rib Racks because we are the best barbecue in town. So in Kenya, so ni vizuri tu unakuja una taste pork yetu, kuku yetu, hiyo long spicy pork sausage yenye watu ita mutura hivi, but yetu ni special.
I love that umesema mutura because now when it's at a certain place it's called a sausage. Yeah. Then ukichukua usiku wakati kuna giza kidogo, suddenly it's mutura. Please.
No,
what is the okay, explain the difference.
Yeah, ours is ours is LSPS, that's what we call it, long spicy pork sausage. Yeah, but normally kwa Afrika wanaita Kenya hivi lugha ya mtaa wanaita mutura, but the recipe is different, totally different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not a sausage that's made of, unajua mutura inakwanga the inner organs na intestines zimeingizwa kwa casing. This is not the same.
No, it's not the same. Ours is the minced meat of pork. Then we use that casing ile ya sausage. Tunaweka ndani. So then we call it that LSPS.
I'm also seeing this culture of barbecuing getting very, very popular across the country and in Nairobi. By the usichomeke hapo. Where usichomeke? Yeah, the heat, it's quite hot, but in a very nice way, it's warm. But the barbecue culture imeanza ku spread around Nairobi and of course across the country. People meet weekends, Saturdays, kazi tunik, smokers, grills, everything. Who has the best rub? Who has the best spices? Who has the best nyama? When you think of the quality of meat, if you were to win a barbecue competition, what do you look for in a cut of meat?
We have the ribs. Like for pork, we have pork ribs. They are the best. We have pork chops. We have belly and pork loin. So for us, we cut our meat with those cuts, and that's how we sell it.
Okay, but in terms of like, vitu kama freshness, if you are at the butchery and you want to win this barbecue competition, how do you tell which meat will win me this competition?
In terms of freshness?
Yes, in terms of freshness. Na pia, I don't know, maybe labda tunaweza angalia tu na ujue taste.
Yeah. It's nakwambia hii kazi sometimes ni ile experience uko nayo. So unaweza angalia hivi and you see like hii ndo the best. Juu pia kuna ile unaweza angalia una hii ni ngumu, then kuna ile soft. Yeah.
Aya. Leo Latif asubuhi alituambia that nyama needs to rest. Hawezi chinja tu nyama alafu ukule. Is that true? That you need to give it a bit of time to rest, otherwise unakula muscle, haukuli nyama.
Nyama yenye ukichinja sasa hivi uwezi si tamu na yenye imekaa like umechinja ukule jioni. Yenye umechinja sasa hivi ukule jioni ni different, taste yake ni tofauti.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that apply for chicken? Does that apply for chicken pia?
Yeah.
Because then kuna this big battle. I'm looking through and I want to talk about the quality of meat that you guys use, because you can tell it's fresh, it's good, but sometimes we worry about where the chicken comes from, where the pork comes from. Sindio, sometimes people have questions like that. When it comes to now freshness specifically, what are the things that tell you hii nyama ni fresh, I can serve this to my people comfortably?
So kitu ya kwanza unaweza angalia, unaona kama hii nyama ukiangalia hiyo kala yake hiyo ni fresh. Unaona haijatan. Kuna nyama utan, unaona imetan na hivi black hivi. But ukiangalia hii tu kuiangalia hata kwa umbali ni kitu tu inakuita tu hivi cause ni kitu fresh.
Okay.
Yeah. Na
nzi, unajua Kenyans tuna believe lazima kuwe na nzi kwa butchery ndio nyama ikuwe fresh. Would you say that's true?
No. Hygiene pia ni kitu ya maana. So nzi sometimes unaweza pata si ati ni juu nyama ni fresh ama hygiene matters. So that's why unaona sisi hakuna nzi. Ni usafi tu maintain.
But hiyo kitu ya watu wasipoona nzi wana panic kidogo. From a taste perspective as well, how do I tell that my nyama is cooked? Like imekuja kwa meza, sawa, fine. How do I know it's ready? Because sometimes you think it's undercooked, overcooked, depending on what cut of meat, and that also it's good meat.
So training yenye sisi tumepewa na Ribrax, we normally make sure that ile kitu tunapelekea customers is ready. Hakuna ati nyama half cooked, yetu iko ready like ready.
Hakuna half cooked.
Hakuna half.
But mimi kama consumer nikiona pinkness in the chicken, should I panic?
Yeah, because that means that chicken is not fully ready. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah. We're going on to another stand now, but Ribrax has been amazing. Handing over back to Jano and Eric so that they can give us a little bit of a discussion there. They're talking with some of the stakeholders within the meat industry. Wachamini angali, I'm scouting for you. I'm scouting. That's why I'm here. You can see Ribrax is here. I see Camp David Butchery, so many other vendors, Farmer's Choice. Come, have a taste of the nyama, buy some. Also meet with industry players and talk to them about what it takes to be a player in this industry, where you can plug in, where you can make money, where you can be of help, where you can innovate. There's so many opportunities. But Jano and Eric are, of course, on the ground with stakeholders. Wacha tuonge now as they look for more places to eat kanyama. Nikingoja hizi zive, I don't think ziko ready.
Ziko ready? Yes, iko ready because by saa 5 ndo itakuwa ready, so utapitia tu piga kabite.
Sawa. Saa 5 ndio hiyo.
Ribrax tuko hapa KICC na tuko na branches mingi, tuko Kiabu Road, Pelican, tuko Karen hapo Liberty Mall, tuko Nakuru Smoke Shack, Diamond hiyo na Naivasha pia tuko huko. Haya, karibuni.
Haya, fantastic. Over to you, Janet. Over to you, Eric.
Wow. Mariam is asking for a friend. Mariam is asking for a friend, and we are all her friends. She is invested in the meat. Paka amesema narudi saa 5. Thank you very much. Saa 5, she's like, I'm coming back because right now you guys are still producing. But that's really good insight. Remember, this is an entire ecosystem. This is the Kenya Meat Expo 2025 taking place right here at KICC. She's speaking to the people who who are able to cook the meat that we consume, and she's there asking a lot of critical questions. What should consumers look out for? On this side, Eric and I are joined by a variety of stakeholders. We have people like Njoki who produce sauces. We're going to be speaking and learning more about the pastoralist community in the Asal region. Do they feel represented? We have people who are involved in owning butcheries and franchises. This is the ecosystem that you can find right here at KICC. And if you can, honestly, make your way here. We are meat eaters, we are meat lovers, but think through the entire ecosystem and the value chain and how you can play a part in it. So, Eric, that was an exciting segment there by Mariam.
Oh, yes, it is.
I'm equally invested.
Satano, we're all getting there. But then, as we go out there, we'll be speaking to some of the people who will support us in eating this meat. The people who are here who make sauces. Sauce, nyama, apple. And the producers are here. We've also are going to talk to people who actually slaughter the animals and getting to understand the quality from, just like we were speaking with Richard earlier, from his state corporation. We have other people here who talk about supporting the farmers and also supporting the consumers. How do you know what's quality? How do you know that the animal that you're rearing is actually good enough to go to the market? And how do we in the market tell that this is good for the market? So all of them are here. And I think the one sitting next to you right there is the farmer.
Yes, he's a breeder, but he's also a regional pastoralist representative, Tumal Orto, who will tell us a little bit about that. Over there, we were asking, how are pastoralists being integrated into this whole conversation? Do you feel seen and heard? Are your voices being heard? You also breed. But tell us, Tumal, do you feel as if the pastoralist voice is being centered in this conversation around the Kenya Meat Expo?
Okay, thank you. My name is, as she has said, Jen said, is Tumal Orto. I'm a livestock keeper, a breeder from Marsabit County in northern Kenya. Actually, I come from Chalbi Desert. That is 1,200 kilometers away in the heart of the Chalbi Desert. Going to the point, I was yesterday listening to the presentations, and every sentence keeps on mentioning pastoral communities, pastoral farmers. So my heart, well, I feel very happy because I also participated last year, but the level of mentioning pastoral communities was less last year. Ilikuwa dominated na presentation ya wazungu sana. Thank you.
Also, let me ask you, because you say you're a breeder. Who's a breeder?
Okay, I'm not going to answer you scientifically. I'm going to answer
practically.
You. I'm going to answer you in a very basic way. A breeder, in the local context, from the parents' guidance, is this dume is good for meat. This dume is good for milk. This dume can withstand mtoto yake naweza tembea mapema. This dume naweza kaa mtoto yake naweza kaa bila maji siku fulani. Those are the basic sisi naangalia from the indigenous knowledge practice.
Do you get any support from, like, I know the county government of Marsabit should be offering extension services Do you get support from that comes in and tells you, all right, so we have also studied, because we have livestock research institutes in this country, then they would come and look at the traditional animals that you've been keeping, and they'll also add on to your knowledge that you have, the traditional knowledge. Do you have that kind of support on the ground, so that now as a breeder you have the traditional knowledge and now you also have scientific knowledge?
Okay, thank you for that question. One of the critical things that Extension Services or Department of Livestock at the county level or even at the national level, there's a one word which they always say, be careful of inbreeding. And that's the point.
What does that mean?
Inbreeding means, let's say I have a camel, I have a goat, I have a sheep. Okay, let me go for camels. Traditionally, this male, once is commissioned to breed, you don't castrate it. Mm-hmm. But we only avoid not to contact with his mother. I'm talking of the camels. But he can get mtoto from his daughters. So now I said, no, I'm going to castrate even camel bulls, which is even which is not allowed traditionally. But I said, sitaweka ile strings ambaye kwa shingo yake, nikiweka hiyo string, because I'm not going to castrate it. Hata kutoa hiyo kamba, because unless the owner dies, that's now another point. So the critical thing is now, even in my own herds now, once those daughters getting mature in 4 to 5 years, ready to conceive, I have to lend that male and then replace with another one with the same qualities, so that does it have is mtoto yake inakuwa na mobility? Does he withstand the resilience there? Does he have the body framework ile mwili yake ni kubwa, ni mrefu ya kuuza kwa soko?
So all those things, once you have them, we are talking about camels here, by the way. Amani camel plus ngombe plus kondo plus mbuzi. You breed all of them?
I breed camels, goats and sheep. Ngombe samani niko naye, lakini nikawachana naye because of kiangazi. And very interesting, but I'm not discouraging the cattle farmers. Shida ya ngamia na kondo ama mbuzi, if it is block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ya ngombe nakuja 16 juu yake.
But that's such fascinating insights. I'm curious, by the way, for our ecosystem fellows here. For any of you, is it your first time to the Kenya Meat Expo, by a show of hands? Oh, there we go. Oh, so it's your first time. Okay. Those who are veterans, those who've been here for all the Kenya Meat Expos, how many? Okay. So we're growing in numbers, which is very encouraging, and we'll try and hear from as many of you as possible. I'll be honest, Latif, when I think sources, and I think it's Richard who kind of made me understand that link. When you see Kenya Meat Expo, I think sometimes there's a very linear way to look at it. It's meat, it's pastoralists, it's farmers. We don't think about, well, let me speak for me, you don't think about all of the other things that add to the meat experience. And that's why I want to speak to Njoki to think through, you make sauces, you are part of the Kenya Meat Expo. How important is your role in this whole conversation? Because some people might be trying to understand that, yes, we all eat, a lot of us eat our meats with sauce, but how important are you as a player, and how much more supported could people like you be?
Thank you so much, Janet. My name is Njoki Kivuti, and I'm the founder of Too Much Sauce. And yes, it's my first time to
it's
participate.
Called Too Much Sauce.
Yes. Yes, it's Too Much Sauce. It's my first time to participate, and it has been an exciting first day yesterday. We're really looking forward for today. But on to your question, Janet. I believe the consumer today is changing, and we must change with them. The reason why we are on board is because the Meat Expo has understood that the consumer is changing. One, because of more education, because it's not the normal traditional nyama choma, salt and water, and serve it up on ugali and kachumbari. Now people want to understand, how can I be able to get this slow cooked meal, barbecues? How can I marinate? Because value addition is just not for the farmers and the agricultural produce, but it's also for the meat. Because once we add value with the marination, and that's where now our synergies come together, that I'm an expert in marinades and an expert in sauces. When I come together now with, for example, the Kenya Meat Commission, which now I'm pitching, and I'm just saying, we can be able to, find a very good synergy where I bring the marinades, because the consumer at home cannot be able to afford to go to the restaurants every day, but they can be able to enjoy that meat at the comfort of their home. So that's where our synergies come in. Yes, I think again how we can be able to be supported is give us a try. We are growing. That's number one. As we are growing, we are able to continuously increase our capacity. So in terms of what I would say, the government, how we can be able to, they can be able to help us is enforcing some of these policies that they have put in place. So just not passing policies, but enforcing them. That is, for example, if I was to supply my marinades to KMC, for example, maybe they have a 90-day policy. And the government, yes, the policies is that as a MSME, I should be paid within 30 days. But literally, Janet, on the ground, vitu ni different. When we go to these big companies, it's either we shape up or ship out. And so these are some of the things that I would say that would really play a part for us to be able to merge synergies and it will also add value to the meat itself. So if you're selling a meat for 400, you'd sell it for slightly more.
Explain to me what you do exactly. So you make sauce. What is sauce? And then where does sauce come in? Because if we are talking about like marinades and all, at how many stages can I interact with sauce in meat, in preparation of meat and consumption of meat? First, what is sauce? Tomato sauce ndio mimi najua.
Well, definitely I see you're not the one who is responsible for the kitchen. However, sauce. So there are different condiments that pair so well with meats. So for example, if it's chicken, you go to certain establishments and you see them serving maybe, it's maybe peri-peri chicken or whatever. So these are just fusions of ingredients that can be able to elevate the meal. So whether it's a sauce, whether it's a marinade, at every point, most probably you are, mixing in your tomatoes and something, and she's probably putting something that you might not know, but it's all part from the beginning of the time you start cooking to the end. Well, at the plate, you're definitely going to interact with either a sauce or a marinade or something like that. Yeah.
I think we can go into a short break. I'd also like to hear Richard react to what Njoki has said, just in terms of enforcing certain policies and integrating you into the ecosystem as much as others, and then hear from some of the other players. Again, we're live at KICC, the Kenya Meat Expo 2025. We'll be back after this short break to continue our conversation.
All right, welcome back to Fixing the Nation. We are live at the KICC for the Kenya Meat Expo 2025. Nyama, nyama, nyama. That's the business today. That's the vibe today. Thank you for sending us your WhatsApp Nation videos. We want to see more of those. Kindly, tengeneza yako. Kuja hapa KICC utengeneze ukiwa hapa. Tuonyeshe what you're doing to fix the nation. It's to just understand the food chain of nyama. How does it go? 0112 500 400 is the number to dial. 0112 500 400 is the number to dial. Nimefika mahali pengine sasa. Like I said, I'm just exploring here, there, seeing where things are ready. As Janet and Eric discuss matters of national importance, minutes after chakula. And I'm here with Alois of Choice Meats Halal, and we're going to make a hot dog. I'm hoping, I'm crossing my fingers. But first of all, good morning, Alois.
Good morning.
Good to see you. Tuambie, Choice Meats Halal, kuna hiyo emphasis on halal. Why?
Okay, for our halal side, it focuses more on how the process of cutting meat. The beef side, because we only do beef here. So for the halal, it's the process of cutting the meat.
Yes.
We position our cows facing the side of the Mecca. We do the person who cuts the meat has to be Muslim. Yes, the process is long. Okay.
Yeah. No, I like that you're giving us insight into what it means for meat to be halal. Yes. So the animal faces Mecca, and then of course the person slaughtering it is Muslim. It's also like there's animals you can't eat. Like you can't eat a dead animal. Let's start with that.
Yes, can't start with that. Yes. For process of cutting meat, we soothe the cow. You know, cutting meat under stress stiffens the meat. So we try to cool the cow down, then slaughter it peacefully. Yes.
And then it's also meant to be quick, right?
Quick, yes. It has to be quick, very quick, so that you cannot stiffen the meat. Animals under stress, they tend to toughen the meat.
It's unastunya because it's natural.
Hata mimi nikishoka na stress nikifafa naweza katwa hata hivi nyama yangu itakauka bado.
There's a story of unaona vile kuku zikichinjwa, sometimes they are running around without the head.
Stress, yes. Now that is stress now.
Okay, that is stress. But good to know. Choice Meats Halal. They've got I see these are beef sausages and this is beef, yeah?
Beef burgers, beef sausages, and these are beef boers. Not the hot dogs.
Please explain the difference between a sausage and a boer wars.
For a boer, we mince our meat and we spice it up with some different spices. We can use some I don't
You don't want to give us the recipe?
I don't want to give you the recipe. Give you the recipe, some people might wanna. For beef, we only do beef, but I can't tell you the process.
Okay, that's fair. That's all right. Can we make a hot dog in real time?
We can make a hot dog in real time.
Okay. So where do we start?
I'll take the bun first.
Okay.
Let me just take it first.
All right. So bun first.
Yes, bun first. You open.
Okay, we can put it maybe on the
platform.
There we go. So bun first, cut it in half as usual, and then what are we adding there?
Sauteed onions. Place it in the middle.
Sauteed onions. Difference here, sauteed and caramelized. Ndio nini?
For caramelized, let me just take it into a shortcut form. I add sugar for it to be caramelized. For sauteed, we only use oil only.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Why do onions go so well with nyama? I don't know how you start cooking anything that's meaty without onions.
Onions are just onions.
Yeah.
I just say that.
They're just yummy, and that's okay. Next,
after this,
yeah.
We go to the beef bowl.
Okay.
You take the breast, just place it inside. Yeah. From there, we go now to the spices now.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you can take any sauce. Okay. Oh, do you like?
I like ketchup. I like tomato. Okay. Let's go ketchup first.
Ketchup first.
Maybe some sweet chili.
Chili. Now we hot and sweet. Yep.
And some mayonnaise. I do like mustard. No mayonnaise, actually. Mustard, yes.
Let's see. This one is open. Let me place it down.
All right. I'm thinking through. I'm wondering, the thing with hot dogs is you have to get the ratio of nyama to bread right. And that's usually a problem with the...
You can see ours is fatter.
Ours
is fatter and juicier.
Yeah. Because I can't tell you how many times I've bought a hot dog. Like, at some point I stopped eating hot dogs because I'm like, what one any beer? The hot dog itself is like that. And then the bun is like this.
You've seen ours. Juicy and fatter. I'm trying to open this thing.
Yeah.
So
no, it's okay. I'm thinking of the fat, the importance of the fat content as well in the meat. I think of fat as a good thing when it comes to flavor, but then we're taught like fat is bad. What's the importance of fatty meat?
Fat. there's a difference in cholesterol and meat and fat. So I say cholesterol is bad. For us, we use this. This is the type of oil we use. We use corn oil.
Right.
Yes.
And when it comes to now the animal fat itself, sometimes what wagopanga, unajua those people who eat their meat without the fat.
Nyama.
Yes.
Are you fat?
Yes.
I mean, for fat, I'll say. Unajua bado mafuta bado ni poa. Nitasema hivyo.
Yeah.
Cause imetoka tu direct from the nini, so hatuongezi any other oil. Actually, in our burgers we use the nini animal fat.
Right.
So actually here we didn't add oil. The oil comes from the burger inside.
I love that. Okay, that's really good. And I know that animal fats are much healthier than other fats. So you are encouraged, of course, where possible, to use animal fats. But maybe I can get some mayonnaise on the hot dog. I dive into it. No worries. But guys, there's a lot happening at the Kenya Meat Expo. I'm trying to show you the mapochopocho vile inaandaliwa, how to get ready. So if you're feeling hungry, it's breakfast time. This is the place to come for breakfast. Choice Meats Halal. We've also seen rib racks. There's so many other. There's Ongole beef right next to us here. We'll talk to them about what they are doing, and we'll get to know what all the players in the meat industry are doing to make sure that our quality game goes all the way up. And we've spoken to that when we were speaking, of course, with Daktari just in the last hour. Now we can talk to the industry players and see what they're doing as well. Let me also have a taste of this lovely hot dog. I think I'll have to throw it back to Jano and, of course, to Eric, because once I get into the food, Jaxo, once I get into the food, it's over. The director is laughing at me. Jaxo is like, wow, yanu mesema lazima ukule. Yes, let me have a nice yummy bite. But, of course, we'll be back with Janet and Eric. Let me have my Choice Meats Halal hot dog. Eric, let me have my Choice Meats Halal.
Hey, Mariam is living the dream right now. This is really the entire chain of how it works, because right here at this side of KICC, we'll continue our conversation with various stakeholders, people who have franchises, business people. We still have Richard Chuma, who we had a conversation with earlier. We have those in source. We have such a wide range of players. Mariam is now with those who are making the meat, selling it, and talking more about that. Again, the Kenya Meat Expo 2025 at KICC. It is free. So if you've seen the breakfast that Mariam is selling, you come. Please, come and experience the meat. Come and experience this ecosystem and value chain that we're talking about to understand it better. There's a bit of feedback before we hear from Esther. She's seated right behind me. She'll talk a little bit more about something that we all care about and love, samosa. But not just the samosa itself. She'll talk about the meat. She'll talk about how you can identify meat that creates confidence in the consumer. But before that, we have some folks on YouTube. The Kikombe says, fixing the nation continues to surprise us with diverse conversations. I love it, Leonie Nyamatu. And then Emmanuel Templar is saying, West Africa wanakula snails, bwana. Kikombe, unaweza kula snails? Ziko hapa nje ya nyumba. I'm thinking of trying it out. The Kikombe then comes back and says, snails have always been a delicacy. Zinaitwa escargot. That's in France. And he says you should try the West African ones. They're very big. So there's already a conversation going on our social media. I think people appreciating the different things we've heard. Speaking to myths as well, speaking to facts. We'll get into all that. Before we get to Eric and some of the folks he has on his end, Esther, who's seated behind me, was telling me that she is a supplier or a franchisee with the Kenya Meat Commission. Let me not get it wrong. Let her tell us a little bit about what she does and why it's important that you get the right kind of meat, even for that delicious samosa that you love to enjoy. Esther.
Good morning. My name is Esther. I have a company called Way Beyond. We are doing Beyond Samosas. I work closely with Kenya Meat Commission. Kenya Meat Commission have outlets or franchises around Kenya. I happen to have a number of them in Kenya. And I happen to have a few of the franchises in Kenya with Kenya Meat Commission. I can say Kenya Meat Commission meat is quite good. I've been with them for the last 3 years. The response from the customers are good. Franchises give, it's an outlet that give consumers meat just next door. because they look at it as a retail. So after interacting with our customers, there were a lot of minced meat that we were selling, and after interacting with customers, and I keep asking, what do you do with your minced meat? And they say, most of us, we do samosas. And after an interaction, we decided to do samosas, and that's the reason we approached Kenya Meat Commission, and we asked, because so many people do samosas from their houses because they don't trust maybe what is outside. They gave us a contract. Now we are in partnership as Beyond Samosas with Kenya Meat Commission. Our main ingredient is minced meat from Kenya Meat Commission. And the response is so good. We have approached a number of the supermarkets that we are in. Maybe in 2 months' time, we'll be in the supermarkets. We are available in all Kenya Meat Commission's outlets. And we are also here at KICC Meat Expo, and we are selling a lot. You are all welcome. And we are way beyond samosas in partnership with Kenya Meat Commission.
I want to ask you a question. Is there a specific part of the animal that is best for mincing for samosa?
Yes. Okay. Why we are different is because most samosas you get from the leftover meats maybe in the butcheries. With the meat you cannot be able to sell, you minced it. But for us, we take our meat specific from a hide part of the animal that give us a top side. We use top side to do our minced meat, and that's where we get our samosas.
So what's the difference with that? Because when you get it from top side, if I was not getting it from what's the other side of top side?
Okay. We have different cuts.
If I got it from the downside.
Downside. Okay.
Would it taste different? Would it cook different?
I also think quality of the meat matters a lot because you don't want to eat samosas and in it you heal some hard parts of it. Yeah. So you're not sure whether they are bones or what. But a steak, top side is a steak. There's no bone in it. There is no funny meat in it, if I would say. It's quality, and we have you covered. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that's a good thing, because we're talking about the products that come out of an animal and how we can, because the thing is, how do we diversify the animal and the meat that comes out of it so we can have as many products as possible. And Richard, you talked about this earlier. We have so many things that we can get out of this one animal. You talked about, the blood, the bones, the hooves, the horns, the hides and skin, and then there's the innards, the offal. What's it called? Third quarter or fourth quarter? All those things. If you talk about now the differentiation of the very many things that can come out of nyama, just telling people who don't know, how many things can we get out of meat that we actually don't get out of meat normally?
Thank you, Latif. It's about value addition globally. The bigger word is value addition, and the value addition it goes to how much you can be creative at personal level. And I'm happy to hear this coming from our fellow Kenyans who are just being more creative. For many years, we are used to seeing sausages and samosas from just one or two established companies, but now it's being pushed down to these micro enterprises, and that's very encouraging to see that. So value addition is more on how creative are you. From the same animal, you can get all sorts of products. It will depend on the limit of your thinking. Apart from narrating the traditional products you see out here, but there's still space for people to be creative, to be innovative, and still push more products into the market. The key thing here is the whole animal, every part of it, including the waste from the ovals, still has value. Yeah, pushing it to the waste from the animal stomachs when it's slaughtered. Still, that somebody can be creative on it and still make a business line out of it.
There are people who actually have gone beyond this. We only know of doing muturas and the other things in family functions. So the bigger things, the smaller things, chomo, hii tukishamaliza kukula baadaye ndio watu sasa wanaanza kukatakata hii kitu ilipikwa later, and we'll come back and talk to you more about that. But I have somebody, Jano, did you actually know that you can get soap out of an animal?
Soap. I wish I could say I knew
Sabuni.
that. Sikujua.
There's somebody here
Oh my
who does
goodness.
exactly that. Let's give her the mic. Tell us your name and how we get soap from an animal. Sabuni ya kuoga.
Hi everyone, my name is Regina Isaac. I have a brand called Bosset Bodyworks. We are 1 year into the business. And actually, I've grown up, my dad is a lover of meat. So we've grown up going to Ngong, getting meat, eating. And the one thing that really stood up for me was talo. And once, during Christmas time, we would slaughter, then the fat that's gotten from the animal, we'll just liquefy it and use it for, just cooking. So we never used to buy cooking oil. But then I was curious enough. I was like, what else can come from? We know bones, you get chains, stuff like that. But how about, apart from the meat, that fat, what else can I do with it? So done some researching, and I realized tallow is really good for moisturizing of the skin. Also, it lathers so well. So I was like,
Tallow ni nini?
Tallow is animal fat. Kenyans love buying meat that is very lean. Haina mafuta. So that fat, they normally tell the butcher, remove that fat. I don't want that fat. But me, I'm a lover of fat. I go collecting that fat, but mostly I go to the abattoirs and get fat from there.
And how do you move it from there to the thing that you're applying on the skin?
It's quite a process because you have to liquefy it. But now getting that quality fat is the issue, because most of the people, they just put it on the side, dries up. So getting that quality fat is a problem. But we do have machines for liquefying that fat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be going to a break shortly, but you get your tallow from the abattoirs.
Yes.
Kichinjio. There's somebody behind you who is from a kichinjio. Let's ask him. Wapatia mic Willy. From a kichinjio. You'll tell us your name and what you do.
Naitwa Abubakar Omari Juma.
Naona kama utasimama ndio hiyo kamera ikushike ukiwa hapo nyuma. Utatuambia vile unafanya, na ni mtu akileta ng'ombe umchinjie ama mbuzi uchinje. Ni vitu gani ngapi unabaki nazo ambazo unauza na huyu jamaa hajajua?
Okay, kwa majina naitwa
kama hii mafuta huyu ananunua. Ule mtu alileta ng'ombe anajua umeuza mafuta. Anyway, anza story.
Sawa. Kwa majina naitwa Abubakar Omari Juma, toka katika eneo la Elgeyo Marakwet, Iten. So mimi ni mchinjaji, bado ni stakeholder kwa sababu niko na bucha kidogo, na mimi ndio nahalalisha. Fanya kazi 3 pale, hata na zaidi ya kuwakilisha wale ambao wanatuuzia mifugo. Tuko pamoja na hawa. So kazi ambayo iko pale, vile nimeulizwa na mwenzangu hapa, ndio tunafanya kazi, tunatoa ngozi. Kitu ya kwanza tunahakikisha mnyama ambaye tunakuja kumchinja ako katika hali bora. Lazima awe ako na afya nzuri. Si yule mkimwona anaenda ni kama anataka kuanguka, la. Lazima awe amenona na ako na afya nzuri. Then baada ya hapo tutamuingisha, alafu akatwe shingo, hiyo ni kuhalalisha. Then atolewe ngozi. By the way, atolewe ngozi. Baada ya hapo inabaki ile nyama kamili, nyama hasili. Baada ya hapo, baada ya kuwa na nyama, kuna hizo mafuta ambazo zinapatikana, zinakava nafasi mzuri ya mara, tumbo, nadhani hiyo ndo anaongelelea. Hiyo pia tunaipata. Then tuko na matumbo hapo ndani na vitu zingine za ndani. Raw maini, hizo zote zinapatikana ndani ya tumbo.
Tutarudi after the break.
Asante.
Bado sijasikia ule mtu ameleta ng'ombe yake kwa kichinjio.
Yes.
Ukamupatia nyama.
Yep.
Ukabaki na mara, na talo, na kichwa, na pembe, na damu.
Yes.
Hizo vitu zingine zote unapeleka wapi? But let's take a break. We'll be back. We are fixing the nation, one conversation at a time. Today, Mike iko kwa ground. It's at the Kenya Meat Expo. It's here at the KICC. Come. It's free entry. And you can come and interact with very many people who are in the meat value chain. And you've heard from various of them who are just doing value addition and supporting the value chain. We'll be back in a moment to talk to more of them about the issues that they do. our faces. And we spoke to somebody here who is actually doing that value addition, tallow all the way into soap that we use. And just before the break, we were speaking to somebody who is involved in slaughtering and basically dealing with the animal at the point of slaughter and then selling to the various stakeholders. And I was asking him just before the break, so when a cow is brought to the slaughterhouse and the nyama has left the slaughterhouse, he's left with so many other things. Just educators, because watu wengi hawajui vitu ngapi zinatoka kwa slaughterhouse. Ng'ombe ikiingia kwa kichinjio, nini zitatoka kwa kichinjio after that? Simama tena utuambie.
Okay.
Kuna nyama, tumesikia. Nini ingine?
Kuna ngozi, matumbo pia inatokana na nyama. Kuna damu ambayo ikikatwa pia, kuna ile nyama, kuna damu yenye inatoka, hiyo pia inatumika kwa njia zingine. Kuna wale wanalishia mifugo kama kuku, wanakausha na wanalishia mifugo. Alafu kuna manyua ambayo ni samadi. Pia iko na kazi yake kwa wingi, inasaidia kutoa biogas kwa wengine. Sisi kama wakulima pale kwetu wanakuja mpaka wanachukua ili watumie kwa mashamba zao. Hizo ni baadhi ya vitu, ambapo pia kuna hiyo mafuta ambayo mwenzangu anasema ni ya kutengenezea sabuni. Hizo pia zinapatikana ndani ya ng'ombe. Then kuna dhahabu ndani ya ng'ombe ambayo watu wengi hawajui.
Dhahabu. Gold
stone. Nadhani kwa wachache hapa ndio wanaweza faulu ambao wanaelewa.
Hebu explain hiyo ni nini?
It's a kind of tuseme ni chombo ambacho inapatikana ndani ya maini kwa ile maji ambayo inatokana kwa maini. Ina form kutoka hapo ndani. Kitu kama
bile.
Yes.
Ndani ya bile.
Ndani yake, kwa hiyo maji ndani. Kunao...
Hiyo unafanya nini nayo?
Inauzwa.
Wow.
Unauzia nani, anafanya nini nayo?
Kunao wenye wanunuzi wapo. Wengi sana.
Wanapeleka wapi?
Inaenda nchi za nje kutibu vitu zingine ambayo hatuelewi, but inauzwa kwa bei nzuri zaidi. Yes.
Wanauza wanaipeleka. That's so nothing can go to waste.
Yes.
Nothing goes to waste. Yep. Very interesting. I know Mariam Amerudi, she was... Mariam, you didn't bring us hot dogs, but it's okay. No. It's a conversation for another day.
They're actually on the grill. I promise.
They're there.
They're on the grill.
Yeah.
It's just that not all the sausages were ready. So they're on the grill.
Hiyo ni story. Sawa. Tumekubali wewe.
And we'll sidebar. I know you have some questions. I wanted to get also just quickly your experience of that side of the ecosystem, even as you invite those around you to comment.
Oh, thank you. That side of the ecosystem is yummy. That's the basics. But really, there's a lot going on as far as sustainability. Let me stand ndio mwanione vizuri. Yeah, but like I said, that side is delicious, but it's also very intentional. What I'm seeing is a lot of intentionality around food safety, around sustainability as well. So people are making sure that what they're doing is in line with global standards, and it's also easy for the ecosystem that they're using every bit. It also feels traditional. You know, the minute you open a smoker, it feels like home. I don't know how to explain. This might be an industrial one, bigger than the one you're used to, but we know how these things go. So there's a lot going on there, a lot of exhibitors, a lot of vendors, everything from everyone with their own, like, what would I call it, niche within the meat industry. So with like rib rack, it was, you know what, how do we marinate? How do we make sure that this is the yummiest smoked meat that we have? With Choice Halal, it's emphasis on halal, right? So what is halal meat? And we've spoken about that. And then exactly how do we process it? How do we get it now to the table? So those are good conversations to have. The person sitting next to me, I didn't even get her name right. When we were speaking about the bile duct and how much we export, I did not know that was true, but she's telling me we export a lot of bile ducts. Please stand up. You don't want to stand up? Yeah, just let us know how much of the bile ducts that we export, kindly, if you don't mind.
I don't have the exact figure. I was just supporting that it's true, it's gold because it have export market. Yeah. I work at the Directorate of Veterinary Services and we usually regulate and facilitate that.
First time I'm hearing of this. Okay.
Richard can explain.
Richard can explain about, this bile juice, bile duct, bile yield.
It goes back to my earlier statement that the level of innovation on what comes out of that one animal is limitless. If somebody has found out a use of the biojuice, which comes from the liver, then it's for the Kenyan people to go in there and try to see how to optimize on that. And that will not be the last of it. People keep on coming up with new ideas. So, and actually, I'm quite happy that the private sector is taking that leadership in trying to explore what else can we get from this animal. Then it's for now the government to set up the enabling environment for those segments emerging to thrive. So the bioduct, as our friend calls it, gold, is something we would also want to tap in to see if it's so that is that lucrative as he puts it. What kind of what kind of business environment would he or she want to see to make sure that that segment also grows, and it will have a ripple effect all back, going back up to the farmer, because it helps to enhance the value of the animal, and that value we are there to make sure that it ultimately reaches the farmer who is the producer of the animal.
I think the lady who was speaking to Mariam, you mentioned you're a vet. Is that correct? Yes. I'm curious to just understand the role that vets have in ensuring animal welfare, because a lot of the time it also starts with you, the knowledge you have, the information you have, and how we're doing as a country even in that regard.
So I'm a veterinarian, yes. We offer services. So at the Directorate of Veterinary Services, what we are doing in the meat value chain, it's ensuring food safety, so that the meat that you're marinating and adding your favorite sauce, you're not eating some sweet poison, so that it's actually safe. So some of the measures that we are doing is capacity building and training across the entire value chain, right from the farm, so that we have good veterinary practices and also good hygiene practices. So what good hygiene practices helps is that we reduce the risks of infections and diseases, so that now we have healthy animals and we use treatments less often. And for the good veterinary practices include like prudent use of veterinary drugs, because we have had a lot of misuse, and also not even observing the withdrawal periods, such that you use maybe an antibiotic, you don't observe the withdrawal. So what happens is that you will be taking the residuals, those pharmaceutical residuals, either in your meat or in your cup of tea. So we are trying to advocate for food safety, because we say if it's not safe, it is not. If food safety, if it's not safe, it's food. It's not food. We are emphasizing on, as we talk of food security, it's also food safety. So another thing we are really trying to do is traceability, so that we know from the farm, right from the farm, the meat you find at the butchery, you can trace it back to its entire life cycle, from where with the farm. Maybe the vaccinations that were done on that animals, if it have fallen sick, or the treatments that were done, so that we're able to track back, so that we know the traceability is what the current thing that we are working on. It's on piloting, and so those are some of the interventions. Another thing, it's a lot of awareness on something we call antimicrobial resistance. So antimicrobial resistance is coming from, as we have said, when we don't use the veterinary drugs well, those residuals, when we take them, we are getting the resistance. Remember, the antibiotics we use as humans, those molecules, they're the ones that used in animals, but in different formulation. So the moment you are taking those residues in your meat, in your cup of milk, you are getting now, your body is getting resistance, such that those drugs are no longer efficient, they are not effective, and you find like nowadays the treatments we used to use and they were very effective, they are no longer very efficient. You find now we have to use very higher drug levels. So those are some of the interventions we are doing. There are a lot more that we are doing, but maybe we need to do more so that it can be felt.
What you've said is a bit alarming. You've said it in a nice soft voice, but I'm like, wait. wait. And I think I'll also bring it back to Richard, just in terms of what she's mentioned for the traceability. It's a really good place to start so that you get the life cycle of what you're consuming. The residual antibiotic is also very concerning. I'm hoping this is something that can be at scale, because I think one of the biggest concerns for a consumer, again, is traceability. Where is the meat I'm consuming? Where does it come from? Can I trust that it's something that, to her point, if it was medicine, it's not, the residue isn't in the meat. So speak to the scalability of traceability as maybe a measure in ensuring that we are consuming meat that's safe for us.
Thank you, Janet. And I think it's a very topical issue, animal traceability. We have been under the planning stage for quite a while, but now we have reached a stage where we are rolling out. We have this system we have developed as a country, is called ANTRAC. The leadership of ANTRAC is domiciled at the Department of Veterinary Services, but all the players are hooked in, including the livestock production and most importantly, the producer and the private sector. Basically, what we are saying, and our minister yesterday reinforced it, he spent a greater part of his speech centered on that traceability, because we have singled it out as one of the ways we have to make sure that our animals going to the market, they can be traced from source. They can be identified from source and they can be traced up to the table. And that has a multiple of benefits. One is, which comes to mind first, is about the safety of that product, so that in case there is a problem on that product on the table, it can be traced back to where it came from. Another one is the marketing systems. Traceability enhances it a lot. That all our marketing partners, they are emphasizing they need products which are traceable. So we have very little options. We have to go there and make sure traceability works. For now, we are at pilot stage, where we start with the animals in government farms, but within a very short time, this would now be taken to the pastoral communities, to all livestock owners, to make sure that your animal, the moment that cattle calf is born, after 4 or 5 months, it is tagged. The goat kid, after some few months, is tagged. By just tagging it, you increase the value of that product. By just doing, if I could take it beyond traceability to vaccinations, by proving vaccination of your animal, and which can be proven easily through the traceability system, you enhance the value of that animal. So it has a wide range of benefits, and we are, as a country now, is government policy to make sure that all the animals are traceable, and that it has a multiple of effect to our society and our trading partners.
Just a quick one, something that we hear anecdotally, but don't have any real numbers on. And this is open to the room. Let me stand as I ask everyone, what are the rates of antibiotic use, especially with chicken that is reared in Kenya? And like Daktari said, how long is the withdrawal period, or are they going to market straight after? And she's given us the health risks and the chain of events that happens. But yeah, I'd like to know, what is the rate of like antibiotic use within our livestock, especially chicken? And I know maybe it's others as well, but you ndio nasikianga. That's why I'm saying anecdotally.
And who can
tuanze na huyo daktari kwanza, because she deals with them on the ground.
So for the amount we use, we are not able to quantify yet, because you find a lot of veterinary services, they are privatized. The veterinary services, especially the clinical work, it's in the private sector. So we may not be able to quantify, but what we know is that there is a lot of overuse. And another thing we are doing, like especially like Shav mentioned in the poultry industry, whereby farmers are using things like antibiotics for preventing. They are not for preventing, they are for treating bacterial infections. But you find like a farmer buys a day-old chick, you start administering antibiotics that it is preventing. We also also have another challenge whereby we have some vitamins that have antibiotics. So the farmer may be giving it as a vitamin, but it's having also antibiotics. And also you find like some of them have longer withdrawal periods. So again, are we very honest? Are we very authentic to give us we don't really, the withdrawal period is a challenge, and it's the AMR thing, it's a global threat, because now we are finding it now in hospitals. In hospitals now, that's why we are able to see the level of resistance. Now because the AMR, we are looking at it as a One Health issue, whereby we work with the human health, the environment, the plant sector in a One Health approach, and we are finding now a lot of resistance to the antibiotics and other antimicrobial drugs, and a lot of it's being tracked back a lot to maybe foodborne AMR because of the residuals. Yeah, so we have a lot of resistance such that the infections, you find like people are not treated, but they are not responding to those treatments. Yeah.
How are people accessing this? Are they buying, the farmers, are they buying them from agrovets or from pharmacies?
The agrovets. Yeah, so what now we have the board, that the veterinary board, what now we are working, they are also working on is ensuring that you only get it with a prescription when it's prescribed. So we hope we are ethical enough to do that.
To move somewhere. You know, it brings in an issue of policy here, because the Directorate of Veterinary Services does not license agrovets. True?
No.
This is the job of the
Kenya Veterinary Board and the Veterinary Medicines Directorate.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so there's a whole issue here of how farmers should be accessing these things.
Yes.
Whether you get it via prescription, where you just go and say nipatie, and you should get.
But now, as it is, it's nipatie hii, and if you don't dispense, ataenda mahali pengine na atapata. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Somebody here wants to make a comment. Introduce yourself as well.
Thank you. My name is Owino Joshua Koth. I work with Resource Conflict Institute, Reconcile. We are also glad to be part of the 4th edition Meat Expo here at KICC. And at Reconcile, we basically work around policy research, advocacy, and capacity building, around land, environment, and natural resources. Again, I find the discussion around here very interesting, because I see a lot of convergence about around also the work that we do at the community level. And the question that was asked earlier in terms of the use of antibiotics, and I will just give some highlights in regards to currently what we are doing. We have currently entered into a collaborative research with the International Livestock Research Institute, ILRI, under the Consultative Group for International Agricultural Research. And one of the things that we are doing physically in Baringo County is we are currently doing some intervention around small ruminants value chain. And within the small ruminants value chain, then one of the things that we've also done is to undertake rapid assessment. And during this rapid assessment, this also informed another intervention called the business-to-business interaction, whereby we are looking at these 3 nodes of value chain. You have the service providers on board, we have the traders, and we have the producers. And again, when you talk to these communities, you find the use is very, very high, because for them, accessibility of this service provider is not really something that is so easy. And for them, they get into whichever agrovet that they can find, purchase these drugs, and then just administer without having any knowledge. But I think one of the gaps within this is just lack of information, also the knowledge gap. But again, in line is this, there's also a handbook that we also produce called the Common Veterinary Handbook, which also is able also to provide the community disease reporters working with the service providers, especially the veterinary department, to be able to address some of these challenges in terms of the different livestock diseases that affect the communities. Thank you.
All right. I think there was also a conversation on vaccines. I don't know whether we should segue into that. Is it divisive, or is it me who thinks it is?
There was a whole debate.
Yeah.
When the government said we are going to vaccinate all our cows, and people are saying, "Sasa ni kazi mmekosa." But let's actually bring in somebody who is here. Mpatia mic tafadhali. He works with the communities on the ground, and he understands a lot about, the work of the community, and he can speak on the need to either vaccinate for that whole thing that Richard was telling us about traceability. Introduce yourself, tell us what you do, and then comment on the issue of
Eric, and vaccinate against what?
Yes.
Some of us don't know.
Also.
Thank you. My name is Dr. Jar Somoku. I work as CEO for Dryland Learning Capacity Building Initiative. We are the secretariat of the parliamentary group, the pastoralist parliamentary group. Yes, it's true. We work with the pastoralists, largely with communities in 15 dryland counties. Yes, the issue around vaccination is very hot. I think, as you put it, people have reacted to it because I think but it is necessary to really vaccinate these animals because and it needs to be done in the correct way and in the right way. But the issue is actually bigger than the vaccination. Why the pastoralists have reacted to it negatively or in a way that is not expected was that these things just dropped from nowhere. There was no discussion, there was no engagement, and just vaccination became a topic one day. And in the dryland areas, I think we need to fix other issues first. There's a lot of disconnect between the whole pastoral system as a production food system and the national planning, and there's no integration between what happens there. As a country, actually, we are losing a lot by pastoralist system not being mainstream integrated, and there is no direct conversation between people who make those announcements and the pastoralists. So sometimes some of the good things that are suggested from Nairobi by people who work in the offices in Nairobi, it doesn't sound very well because the conversation on the ground is not that one at that moment. They were discussing something else, and all of a sudden we just drop something, which actually, if it was timed and communities are part of that discussion, it would have been very important and very necessary.
Dr. Moku, do farmers vaccinate their cows?
Yes, they do it. There's one farmer here I think we work with. He'll be able to tell you how he does with his camel. They do.
So you vaccinate livestock?
They do.
Okay. So the problem that you had with this move by the government was them coming to talk about facilitating the vaccination of livestock without having engaged you first.
Yes.
What would you have wanted to be engaged on? You already vaccinate livestock.
The issue was not about announcing vaccination. It's like they are not aware that vaccination is taking place, actually. It's like they think they have brought in something which is extraordinary, and it's happening. The question was, what is the gap in what you are doing in vaccination? Where the problems are? And the farmers would have said, the issue is this one, fix this. And then things would have rolled smoothly. But when you just come as if nothing is happening, and you say vaccinate animals, then, and that's not what at that moment I think the farmers were interested in. They are having an issue with the whole chain of vaccination, which maybe the government need to fix.
Okay.
Yes.
Mariam asked, vaccinate against what? So normally when farmers are vaccinating their animals,
yes,
it's against what?
I think I'll give it to the farmer to be able to tell you, would they vaccinate against what? They actually treat their animals against many things that they know. Some of them, they don't have to use the conventional medicine. They actually use even their traditional medicine, which they sometimes think is more effective than the ones that are being recommended. So the issue is to reconcile all that. I would actually ask Tumal, who is a large camel herder in Chalbi Desert, to be able to say, what does he vaccinate against this, what disease, and what vaccination he does for his camels.
Okay, thank you. As per currently, the vaccination which is critical to be vaccinated is one is PPR, FMD, this one orfi mgonjwa ya mdomo ya both mbuzi na ngamia pia, although I think the one of the camels might not have the vaccinations. Then the lumpy skin disease ya ng'ombe I think, and pia goats and sheep poxes.
These are the ones of the economical value. Alafu kuna ile ya kifua ya ngombe na ya mbuzi, yani mbuzi nyeupe. So the ammonia, those are the common ones.
Okay, so we've understood that. Because we have very many stakeholders here, Janet, I think let's also now come back into those who are also still playing a role in the value chain.
Right.
All right, so we've heard from policy, we're hearing from doctors, we're hearing from those that are supporting. Kuna watu wengine, we heard from a sauce maker.
Yes, too much sauce.
A sambusa maker. And there's somebody who uses herbs here. Chukua mic. Sasa huyu analeta nyasi kwa nyama.
Good morning, everyone. It's lovely to be here at Meat Expo, the 4th edition. My name is Grace Awor, and I'm the founder of Oasis of Wellness Herbal Sauna. So what happens here is when you've eaten the meat, you've heard that there's so much antibiotics and everything being administered onto what we are eating. And like the other day, NTV featured toxic harvest. So what happens in the sauna, we've realized that people are coming with so many conditions. You find that somebody has like skin condition and they've been taking medicine for so long, they are saying the medicine is resistant. So what we are doing is let me just give you a background. When we were young, what used to happen is our grandmothers used to go and get herbs and then boil them in a pot and cover us with a duvet. And from there, we would sweat and sweat and sweat and get out all those things. And this built up our immune system. So this is what we've done in a modern setting. So the herbal sauna, what it does, it detoxifies you. So whatever you're eating comes out in the form of sweat. And we say, ours is a garage. You take your vehicle into a garage every day, but you don't take your body into a garage. So your body has all those things, and that is what results to gout, that is what results to diabetes, that is what results to so many things that we are experiencing now: high blood pressure, high cholesterol, fatty liver. So we've experienced a lot of, a lot of good reviews. People come in, and after a while they tell me, imagine my skin disease is gone. Imagine my fatty liver, now I'm feeling better. My cholesterol is down. So we are there, that's why we are here.
Is it tested?
Kitambo, was it tested? Traditionally.
Uko na diamond mark of quality.
Yes.
Your KEBS.
Yes.
Yeah. Uko certified.
Yes.
Hii kitu that you're steaming with is not going to harm me. How do I know that you have actually gone through the proper checks and vetting?
I've gone through training at Museums of Kenya for a whole year. So I'm certified there. I've learned about herbs, I've learned about how to mix them, how to get them working.
And there are many like you in the space.
Why don't you get an dawa?
Yes.
It's about verification.
Yes.
Somebody else here does kombucha.
Yes.
Which is also another, we'll just speak to her briefly before we come back to you, Eric and Mariam. But I know, fermented foods is another conversation to be had. Tell us a little bit about how that plays into this ecosystem and how more you think a platform like the Kenya Meat Expo can support what you do.
Hello, my name is Shiro. I run Gutfeast Kenya. Gutfeast Kenya is a company that sells fermented foods and drinks. So we sell kombucha, we sell kimchi, and we also sell sauerkraut. So I'm very much excited to be here because I'm the one who helps you digest your meat. Kombucha is fermented tea, sauerkraut is fermented cabbage, and kimchi is a mixture of different vegetables with a hint of chili. Yes. So you see, you cannot digest your meat without, if your digestive system is not working right. So I am here to help people help their digestive system so that they can be able to digest this meat. I think Kenya is a meat lover nation.
Give us an idea of what a healthy microbiome looks like and why it's important. It's not something we think about, but fermented foods are good for us. But we traditionally had them. You ferment porridge, some people ferment even the alcohol, we ferment this and that. But then people don't make the correlation between that and a healthy gut.
Very nice. You see, we have a symbiotic relationship with bacteria in our bodies. Like, for example, your gut has a lot of lactobacilli and many other bacteria in there. And these bacteria are alive, so they can die. So you need to keep replenishing them. Okay? If you do not have enough of them or a good balance of them, then your digestion cannot happen right. That is where you can take 2 days without going to the toilet. Actually, if you're eating, you should be going to the toilet. So a good, healthy gut, you should at least not feel bloated. At least make sure you have a bowel movement, a regular bowel movement. Sio mara moja kwa wiki. Yes, a regular bowel movement. And even allergies. For example, some of these skin allergies we have, it's simply because our gut is not working right.
Yes.
Thank you.
At some point, Mariam, also a butchery, please, if we can hear from somebody who runs a butchery.
Right. There's someone who works in the machinery, actually, that section, and he's actually based in Japan. I wanted to speak a little bit to what you do and what tech you're using, how you're bringing it to Kenya. Kindly stand up and give us your name.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Daniel. I've heard a few things here. I am based in Japan. I've heard the word kombucha. Maybe you don't know the meaning. Cha is tea in Japan, and kobu is the process that makes the tea. Japan, we have guys living over 100 years. Currently, we have over 15 million of them. The long life is actually due to the fish diet and the fermented aspect of things. Then also there is something else I wanted to mention that was talked about maybe a little bit lightly, about the bile juice and the bile duct and whatever, and the gallstone issue. It's actually very actively used in the Asian nations. And our friend here from Marakwet alisema kwamba hajui inatumika wapi. They use it to make medicine for lowering blood pressure, matters of stroke, so and so forth. So mostly actually on the counter drugs, which are very few in Japan, you get to find medicine with ingredient from the bile. So it is very useless here. Actually, guys don't want to interact with it. But on the other end, it's really a very powerful thing. I wish we could. But on what we do here, I have a company in Kenya called Urban Households. We basically bring we basically bring used machinery for commercial hotels, kitchens, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
So thank you very much.
Thank you. I think, like I mentioned, somebody who runs a butchery, because I'd really like to speak to butchery hygiene and regulations. But also, Richard, just based on what we're hearing some of the players in this ecosystem say, is there an intention to integrate some of these, I guess some would call them alternative, approaches to gut health, alternative approaches to, just integrating all of this into it so that people know more about it. Otherwise, it can be seen as a side of something that's outside of, and then the uptake will be limited. How are you working with those who are doing kimchi and kombucha, wellness, and all of that?
Thank you, Janet. The whole thing is to be versatile, and we are trying to do it as much as we can, so that we know that the animal is the fulcrum, but beyond the animal, there are many other appendages for the animal, for the people to realize the full benefit of this animal. So all these efforts are all welcome, and we are ready and always adapting or taking new ideas, so that if there are challenges, the new ideas are getting challenges as we move forward. It's our responsibility to make sure that we streamline the operating environment. So they can always link up. We are there for them, and that's our daily responsibility, that all the end enterprises, either an appendage or the main one, which is somehow related to the livestock industry, please, we are available to walk with you the journey. And our main responsibility is to make sure that you, first of all, succeed as a business, and second, you contribute to the economic development of the country. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Butchery, anybody who owns, works in a butchery?
Abattoir. Here we go.
Okay, I'm Edwin Goech from Elgeyo Marakwet. Mambo ya usafi yenye umesema from the production that come out from the slaughterhouse. I also do hides and skins production there. So from animal tuseme ng'ombe ikiingia kichinjio, kuna usafi inafaa huwa tunafanya huko ndani. So kuna vile tumewekea maji vizuri, kuna maji moto, kuna vile wame clean chini, wameweka tiles. So kwa hiyo sekta ya kuchinja ng'ombe, tunachinja ng'ombe kwa service yenye iko safi vizuri. Then kuna public health officer anakuja kuangalia. Then kuna veterinary officer like what my friend here. Yeah. So tuko watu wengi huko. Then I think the cleanliness is very good in the in our slaughterhouse.
About storage?
Storage, yes, we have. We have the storage like these storages. Tukichinja ng'ombe, kuna mahali huwa tunaweka kwanza huko ndani. Then I think daktari mwenye anafanya veterinary anajua vile inawekwa hiyo nyama ikul kidogo. Nafikiri anaelewa, atawaeleza hiyo. Kuna nyama vile wanaweka ina cool kidogo. Then wana inspect, then the meat will be supplied.
Okay.
Umeelewa? Then for my sector, yangu ni hides and skins. I also get the product from that cow animal that brought from, tuseme mtu yangu huyu wa kutoa animals ikuja kwa kichinjio. Mimi nafanya hides and skins. So mimi nashika ngozi from ikitoka tu kwa nyama na si area iko clean, natoa tu, nachukua and then I preserve before I supply to the factory here in Athi River.
Okay. Mr. Kwech, let me ask you something. Fun fact. Unajua, the high heels that women love were originally for butchers. Ndio wasikanyage, you know, uchafu as they're wading through. It's true. But I wanted to ask, watu wakinunua nyama, that's the other half. Kuna mtu kuna unajua preferences to tabia maringo that can lead to wastage. Do you see that? Because kuna mtu anakuja anasema pana toa mafuta, kata mafuta yote. Mwingine anakuja staki hiyo. What are the most wasted parts according to you, especially from a consumer perspective, watu wataki kununua, and the ones that either hawajui the value ama hawaoni the value as consumers?
So kama nyama sasa, si umeniuliza kama kuna parts yenye wengine hawataki.
Yes.
Like kuchukua nyama kama iko na mfupa. Hawajui hata maana ya kupata ile carbon marrow kwa ngozi. I mean the bone ndani. So hawajui hiyo maana ya hiyo kitu.
Hawajui bone marrow iko na nutrients pia. Okay.
So wanataka tu ile flesh ka steak hivyo, wengine kutoa sasa mafuta ile nyui alikuwa amesema, sijui nani alikuwa amesema hapa anataka hiyo mafuta. So unaona hajui hata hiyo ni ya nini.
So watu wanasema kata mafuta, usinipea mifupa. Those are the two things. And those are some of the very important parts of the animal. Asante. Okay. The industry ni kubwa, kila mtu, everyone is playing their part, but I want to get to consumer behavior, because we are consumers as well. I believe kila mtu hapa pia ni consumer behavior, and that's why I asked Mr. Koech that. So consumer behavior that could help the industry grow. Anyone who has any insight? Like if consumers knew this industry would grow a lot faster. Is there anything that comes to mind, mkisikia hivyo? Anything that could change from the consumer's perspective?
Kutokana na hii sekta ambapo tupo, inatusaidia sana kufanya kazi mingi. Kwa mfano, yule mbebaji wa nyama wa bodaboda from slaughterhouse to the butchers, sio ni nafasi nzuri ya kazi kwa sababu inabeba wengi. Pia tunapata revenue mingi kutoka kwa hizi magari ya kusupply nyama. Kuna wale pia ambao wanatumia miguu zao kutoa ng'ombe kule msituni kuleta kichinjio, so wanapata pia senti yao. So hiyo sekta ya tuseme ya nyama inaajiri watu wengi. Vijana wa Gen Z wakuje tufanye kazi, tuwafunze kazi, iko na maana sana.
Hata ameleta swali mzuri hapo. Kuna vijana katika hii meat sector. I can see kuna vijana hapa, but in the industry as a whole, kuna vijana wengi. Is the uptake what we would want it to be? I can see. It's like, kuna vijana kwa hii sector, but of course, Mr. Jasso, if you have ideas in the industry, in ourselves especially, kuna vijana unaingia into the livestock industry?
Nikiongea kutoka kwa production side, wale hadas, hakuna vijana. Wote wameketi chini ya varanda ya nyumba, wanasema hawana kazi, na ng'ombe huko inahitaji kazi na hakuna mtu ya kuchunga. Kazi mingi hapo inakaa, hakuna mtu anayeshughulikia. Vijana wengi wameenda shule na pengine wamemaliza form 4 ama hata university, hawana kazi, wamebaki wakikaa chini ya bali alami tu hapo mbele ya varanda ya nyumba, na kazi huko haina wenyewe, ni wazee wanashughulika nayo. Kuna kazi mingi sana hapo haifanyiki.
Na kwa kichinjio, kwa the entire value chain kuna
just before tuende kichinjio, she's been nodding her head very vigorously.
Unajua huyu anatoka kwa kichinjio?
Anatoka kwa ni wa kichinjio. Fantastic.
Ana sauce.
Yeah. So I work with quite a number of people because watu wananibebe, actually they are very young people, and they keep on asking me, mafuta unapeleka wapi? So I have content creators who work with me, so I also educate them on that. And actually I find sometimes business is a two-way traffic. I benefit, you benefit as much as maybe I'm selling to you or you're, purchasing from me. So I have quite a number of young guys, like, who are very inquisitive. They really want to know and understand. Problem is they don't want to get into the dirty work, but at least I have quite a number. I have like 15 people working with me.
The dirty work now being actually processing, kutengeneza, all of that.
Yes.
Okay. Behind there, you see two more hands.
Yeah, I think Romeo will get back to the question that we asked on the consumer behavior that can also help the sector grow. I think for the consumers, can we also maybe try to embrace other meat? For example, you go to places like Nyanza, you'll find people are so much into the beef. You go to Baringo and these other maybe like pastoral areas, but people are so much into goat. Go to the northeastern, you'll find people so much into the goat and the camel meat. And then the people will tell you, for me, I can't take maybe the camel meat. In Wajir, they call it nyer. Yeah, so such meat. So people can also try to embrace other meat products so that it can also help the sector to grow.
I was actually going to ask the diversity in meat consumption.
Yes.
I was telling Mariam and Eric the other day, nimekula chura in my life. Whether there's an openness to to just, is that consumer behavior evolving and changing?
Yeah.
But I would think not, because to what he said, do people know enough? You might say, oh, where I'm from, I can only eat this and this meat. Mtu mwingine anasema ai. So how do we shift to that person?
Have you eaten escargot?
Escargot. Snail.
Mtu mwingine anasema, as we only eat escargot. But mwingine anasema unakula snail. That's so disgusting.
Yeah.
But I feel kono. Thank you. Kuna watu walikuwa nataka kuongea on the youth numbers in the industry. Yes, I can see. Maybe just we wrap up on that question, because I think it's good to know the future is here. We are 70% young people. So if young people are not in the livestock industry, if they're not herding, if they're not processing, if they're not in abattoirs, then where are they? And where do we expect this food to come from that we are consuming? Yeah,
thank you very much. My name is Anthony Jogu Mushiri. I represent Choice Meat Halal. And you are welcome back to...
Thank you.
To
yes, I had a
those,
yummy... The hot dog was from Choice Meats, Halal there. Nikiona niki in. Asante sana.
Yeah, you come.
Asante.
Okay, to speak on the issue involving the youth, for us, Choice Meat, we have a variety of products. As you can see around, those young people with small vending where they are selling the smokies and the sausages. Actually, most of them they get from us. So we are well distributed across the country. We have stockists, and for those who would want to reach us, they can get us from sales choicemeat.co.ke, and we tell those youth kindly buy from us. Get yourself involved. Uza hizo smoky huko nje. Msiseme hakuna kazi. Start from there. And you are going to success.
Thank you so much, Anthony. I'm hearing a common theme hapa, which is vijana wako kwa kuuza, kwa kupromote, kwa kumarket, but huku kwingine, numbers are not good. Daktari, is that your hand? You wanted to say something? Okay.
A quick one that was not mentioned, but also on the consumer empowerment, so that you know what you are looking out for, so that you're not just doing, it's not just about the physical appearance of that animal product, it's also the microbiological analysis, the chemical analysis that now about, let us know, and also on our part to do more surveillance and sampling of food, so that we also inform you based on data that we are finding this and that, so that we also disseminate what we are finding. And we are able, when the consumer is empowered, you're able to demand for quality. Now, if I will demand for quality from Choice Meats, and Choice Meats, they are able now, from their farmers, they are able to demand for healthy animals. And also on residues, we forgot to mention on feeds, we have a lot of aflatoxin issues, so that again, the animal feeds people, they give us quality and safe feeds, because even the feed safety affect the quality of the animal products.
Before you sit, Daktari, as a consumer, mimi nikiangalia nyama, it's bright red or it's white. That's all. If it smells funky, I'm like, imeuza ni sawa. But beyond that, what are some of the things I can look out for as a consumer that tell me this is good meat, this is bad meat, I should stay away from this? And even from just being more wary, what are the things I should look out for? Because it's very hard for me to know that this was fed on aflatoxin.
Yeah, so that's why, like, you cannot be able, even myself, I cannot be able to go and tell. That's why we are focusing on the entire value chain, so that things are done right, the entire value chain, including the people who are manufacturing the feeds and feed ingredients. Right. Yeah.
Thank you. Storage?
And storage, yes.
Speak to storage, how long in a fridge, how long out of a fridge? How do you know? Like, when I was asking about the butchers, some will assume the longer it's been out, the better, I think, or but yet sometimes you hear it's been put in a fridge, then removed, and it's harmful. So storage of meat, what do you advise?
The thing with the freezing usually slows down the microbial activity. So there's that notion that itaisha taste or something, but actually, like, for the meat that even we export, it's exported either chilled or frozen. It helps in slowing down the microbial growth. The more it's out, the more you're increasing the microbial growth and load. Yeah. So, but the moment you place it in the freezer at home, and then you decide to thaw, you are not supposed to keep on returning, thawing and kurudisha, unatoa, unarudisha tena. No, that one, it's not, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to, the portion that you remove from the freezer, you make enough to be cooked, and the moment umeongeza hizo sauce and whatever, it shouldn't be kept now like in the fridge again for another like a whole week. It should be made for that consumption, and maybe just maximum maybe 2, ikienda sana 3 days.
So ukinunua nyama katakata into,
if you're storing in the freezer, you need to in small portions, so that you are not thawing all of it, unakata and then unarudisha tena, so that you just take that small portion you need to prepare for that meal, and then the rest remains in the freezer. And the one that ukitoa kwa freezer and then you prepare, umeongeza in the kitchen, umetengeneza again tena, usitengeneza tena, urudishe kwa fridge, ikae kwa fridge sana.
Siwaambie watu wa butchery hivyo basi. Because here's the reality.
Yes.
How many butcheries do you go to and nyama imekuwa hanged pale the whole day?
Yeah.
Ikifika jioni akienda kufunga hiyo butchery, akona freezer, anatoa kwa nini, anaweka kwa freezer to store it overnight.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow morning anatoa, anarudisha pale, anahang, ndio kuja tununue. So you're saying that whole thing is also bad?
That's why I mentioned earlier, we have a lot of work to do in training and capacity building across the entire value chain, and so that we also aware on what's happening, that what you're not able to see, so that people can be informed and make better decisions even from the farm level.
This lady has been writing notes. And I'm sure she wants to contribute. Chukua mic. Chukua your mic. Iko hapo nyuma yako. Tell us your name, what you do, and this issue of safety and quality of meat, especially the safety side, right? What is it that we need to know?
In just a minute.
I'm Teresa.
Stand, please.
And I work. I'm Teresa, and I work with the State Department for Livestock under our able CEO here. Concerning quality of meat, there are various aspects that we need to look at. Number one is palatability of the meat. The meat you're buying, how palatable is it? Is it juicy? Is it hard? Is it generally how palatable is it? Then number two, you also have to look at the quality aspect of it. My able vet here has talked about the quality aspects, the microbial load, and all that. You also need to know about the nutritive value of that meat. And that, I think, I leave it to also the vet people. Another aspect about quality of meat should also be the appearance of meat generally. If you go to the butchery, you need to observe the color of the meat that you're purchasing. And actually, I think the right color of meat should be deep red. Yeah, any spots on meat or a the dark color, dark appearance of meat, I think should not be advisable for consumption.
It's a red flag.
Yes.
All right. We're out of time. Thank you so much to all of you who've participated and for all the work you do. The Kenya Meat Expo is going on. Mariam gave us a taste of what's going on outside. A lot of people, a lot of the vendors here, please come by, check out the different exhibitions, understand the ecosystem better, the value chain better. And more than that, indulge in nyama. Like I was going to say it's Friday, but it's Thursday. Mind iko kwa nyama ya Friday. It's Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, that one.
But yes, absolutely great. Thank you so much for staying with Fixing the Nation. 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. again tomorrow morning. Mariam Bishai, Latif, Janet Bogwa. Again, please come and enjoy the Kenya Meat Expo and support the work that's done here.
That's right. Thank you so much to Tupatane Kesho. But of course, the Kenya Meat Expo will be live. Kuna mambo mengi, come on ground as well. And on the Vibe Shift on Nation FM, if you're listening to us, then please stick around. Claudia Naisabwa, Brian Aseli are joining you. And they'll be hosting award-winning actress Esther Kahuha. Tupatane kesho asubuhi. Bye-bye.